I have so much love and respect for him as a person, the way he carries himself, his demeanor, his competitiveness, his focus, the plays that he makes on the field, the way that he communicates with me, the respect that he shows me, the respect that he earns from myself and our team every single day. He is one of a kind. I'm better because of him as a person and as a quarterback.
Wow. So a lot of us on the staff were really struck by that. And Mark Sanchez, I want to start with you as a quarterback. When you hear the quarterback talking about a receiver like that, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is the way Bart Scott used to talk about me when we were teammates, so this totally makes sense. But most importantly, when you get a quarterback and a receiver on the same wavelength this way, this transcends football. It sounds like these guys are buddies. It sounds like he's shoveling snow for Aaron Rodgers and wiping off his car or something like that. This is a serious bromance, but I think it's transcended football, and they share the same views. Maybe it's politically, maybe it's religiously, maybe it's just, the way they go about their day. But I think what he respects the most about him is his hard work and that work ethic. When you have a guy that's willing to work like that, it makes your job a lot easier.
RC, how about that connection?
And I thought it was amazing. Listen, we have seen Aaron Rodgers, say some things that may border on arrogance, but this was real. This seemed sincere. And it seemed like he was not only appreciative of what Davante Adams was as a man and as a player, but it seems like he was grateful to be a part of his journey. Like he was grateful to have him on his team. But you see this on the field. There is no one-on-one matchup that Aaron Rodgers doesn't believe that Davante Adams is going to win. The 2 interceptions he throws against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were purely because he knew Davante Adams had one-on-one, and that was his guy, and that his guy was better than anyone else. This bodes well for these two people, but more importantly, for the Green Bay Packers and their pass game.
Trying to decide if Bart Scott's going to say something funny or serious. Go ahead, Bart.
No. This is old age, man. This is old age. This is reflection. This is seeing at the end is coming. I know Jordy Nelson. I know Donald Driver's like, what the hell are you talking about? You never waxed poetic about me like that. I won you a damn Super Bowl when you were winking at Ryan Clark. You were throwing the ball to me. And you want to wax poetic about this dude? Like, are you kidding me? So this is old age, and this is him understanding that the end is near, and him understanding that, hey, his days are numbered. And how are you as the Packers knowing that you took the first-round draft pick on a quarterback, and this guy's playing this well, and you may not even be able to see that first-round quarterback?
Diana, you look skeptical.
Because every Friday, it's the same thing with you three. You're so sappy and in your feelings. Davante Adams makes Aaron Rodgers look fantastic. It's like Hembo on the show. Hembo makes me look so good. He gives me all the facts, the stats. He goes over my notes for me. Guess who I love? Hembo. He makes me a better person because he makes me successful. So I completely understand why Aaron Rodgers is going out there. I love Davante. He's this, he's that. I love anyone that makes me look good.
I think we have come to the conclusion
I used to get that treatment last
Hembo equals Davante Adams. I think that their value is about equal. That is an excellent point, Diana, and I thoroughly agree. Let me break on that. There's nowhere better to go from there than that. Coming up next, we'll talk about another
fit for a rebuild. Does he understand how to get this team to be something that they never had to be without Tom Brady? And that's the question. Nico said he believes that Bill still wants to coach, that Bill still has the fire. Well, does he have what it takes to take a new rendition or a new version of the New England Patriots to the Super Bowl? Because we all know that's the standard that is set in New England.
So, Bart Scott, let me come to you on that. If Bill's actions suggest that he doesn't believe Jarrett Stidham is the future of quarterback at New England, and I think that does seem relatively clear. What do you expect him to do? Do you expect him to try and find a veteran? There should be a lot of them, or does he start over with somebody new and young?
Well, he's going to have to try and find a veteran. And we think about maybe Matthew Stafford. We talked about a little bit, maybe taking a trade for Jimmy G, bringing him back home because I don't think San Francisco is really sold on him. But you got to understand that the sexy part about being able to attract free agents, guys that were in the middle of their career, guys who were established like A.J. Green or Keenan Allen, the reason you were always able to attract them because you had Tom Brady as the quarterback. So now it's going to be a hard recruiting sale because from every former teammate that I've ever played with that went to New England, they said it is miserable Bowl, and they were winning. So I'm going to imagine what it's like to be in that building now that they're losing. So Bill Belichick has to figure out if he's going to go young. He may lose Josh McDaniels because Josh McDaniels has an opportunity to go coach Deshaun Watson. He has an opportunity to go coach Herbert potentially, maybe Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence. Is that going to keep you in knowing that you may not know who you're going to coach and you may not have any weapons around him to build, and know that may be nepotism going on in New England? Because if Josh McDaniels says, hey, you told me you're going to give me your world, Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick says, hey, here's your world, I go up to the upper office, you're going to be stuck with two of his kids that you may or may not even like. So if Josh McDaniels leaves, he has an opportunity to build a staff and build a team the way that he wants to, and don't have to have any arranged marriages. So I believe if I'm Josh McDaniels, I get off the Titanic while it's sinking, because I don't want to stay around for 3-4 years before this thing get turned around, because every other quarterback in the division is better than the one we have.
Boy, there's a lot to unpack there, but very interesting. We'll see. McDaniels, maybe something happens down in Tampa with his old quarterback. We'll keep a close eye on him. Okay, more on this one as we go. Meanwhile, let's go on the clock with a couple of the other big games of this weekend, and we'll talk about who the most important players are. And Bart, I'm coming back to you. Kansas City, Miami is an interesting game. Who's the most important player on the field? Go.
Well, when you talk about Miami, you talk about the number 2 pass defense in the game going against one of the most explosive teams in all of NFL. So I think the most important player is going to be Travis Kelce, because you can lock these guys on the outside. But if I ask you to name, the corners for the Miami Dolphins, you can do that easily. If I ask you to name the safeties, you can't. And it's going to be a reason, because you're going to know their names after this week, because Travis Kelce is in the running for me for offensive MVP, over 1,000 yards receiving 5 times as career. That's Hall of Fame type stuff right there.
All right, very interesting. Let me go next to you, Sanchez. Colts, Raiders, with everything at stake for both teams. Who's the most important player on the field? Go.
I would have said DeForest Buckner just to change it, but I can't. I got to go with the quarterback again. It's Phillip Rivers. He's beaten this team 18 times that he's faced them. That's the most by any quarterback. Thank you, Hembo, for that stat. But the most important thing for Phillip Rivers is control your emotions, because he gets mouthy, he gets fiery against Gruden and this group. But don't forget, they might be without Jacobs. They're banged up in the secondary. Abram could be out. Arnett could be out. Heath could be out. Just keep things under control. Don't start spraying the ball all over the place because you're worried about talking smack to the defense. Just play your game.
The most predictable thing that we have is that Mark Sanchez will name a quarterback as the most important player
pick a quarterback
on the field. The next one is for you, RC. Big game, very big game in the NFC. Cardinals, Giants. Who's the most important player?
It's not just one player. It is the run offices of Gallman and Morris, and that's Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris. When you look at what they were able to do against the Seattle Seahawks, they had Colt McCoy as the starting quarterback, who played more like a miniature pony, but it was Wayne Gallman's big run in the third quarter that got them in scoring position, and Alfred Morris scores. Wayne Gallman gets another big run, and there's a touchdown pass to Alfred Morris. This team has outrushed their opponents by 305 yards in the last 4 games, and that's the win streak that they have.
The run offices of Gallman and Morris. I like it. We'll take a short break on that thought. Much more to come on this Football Friday, including Aaron Rodgers getting downright mushy, talking about his favorite